This is my coming out story. My coming out story isn't the simple story of me going outside one day with rainbow flags, half naked with my ass out wearing colorful attire. It's also simply not a story of me coming outside of some invisible closet that others tried to put me in. I've always been comfortable with who I am and going after what I like. I'm also very friendly in meeting people of all differences. Growing up, I liked and dated girls. I was never interested in boys. In the second grade, my comfortable poppin' ass had their first boy admirer. I didn't realize this boy liked me at the time, but now looking back on it, he was quite with it. He followed me around all the time and would stare at me. Things got weird when he started following me into the bathroom. They got extra weird when he grabbed at my penis in games of tag, your dick is it. After being assaulted by this boy in the second grade, I remember telling my grandma that this boy was touching on me, and she said, "The next time they touch you, you hit the hell out of them. You let them know not to touch you no more." So the next time he touched me, I hit the hell out of him and did just that. I felt bad after because he looked scared and confused. As I reflect, I believe he maybe thought I was with it, but as I was not, I had to, unfortunately, hit the hell out of him. After being assaulted by this boy and having to defend my body, I knew something was different about me. At the time, while I didn't want to invoke a fear over this boy who liked me, I did want him to respect my body and the idea of consent. I knew I didn't want this boy thinking it was okay to just touch me whenever he chose. You see, I went on to continue being the friendly, loving, and in-your-face kid, and that got me far until middle school. Something about middle school didn't agree with me. You couldn't be just a friendly and loving kid in middle school. That wasn't unless you were gay. I was around all these older kids who were going through the changes of trying to find themselves and where they fit. The emos, the cholos, the cholas, the bisexuals, the athletes, the scholars. All these different groups, and I'm standing out like a needle amongst hay, to constantly have people telling me I'm gay. If they weren't telling me or assuming, they were asking me, "Are you gay?" I found myself saying no all the time, but after a few times I'm now like, "Motherfuckers, when did y'all get the impression that I have to answer to you?" So I made an aware decision in the 6th grade to stop answering quick, and I started questioning. You want to know if I'm gay, I want to know why you're ugly. I want to know why your mother birthed your accidental ass on the freeway. I want to know why you're overweight and feel the need to ask me questions when you literally have working out to do. I guess you can say I became a middle schooler. I was not pressed to date anyone in middle school yet. I still dated some persistent girls. As I was still dating girls and well liked by some, I still had people calling me gay and asking me if I am gay, when I had full-ass girlfriends and never hung out with guys. So now I'm in my head like, well, I don't know if I'm gay, but if everyone else knows, maybe I am. You see, gay to me at this time meant that I was interested in being with a boy and maybe kissing or hugging them. That literally didn't apply to me, yet I still couldn't run from this projection of being gay. I started to hate myself some. I didn't like the fact that I knew so many people were worried about my sexuality. I went to my mom around this time and I told her something along the lines of, people at my school keep calling me gay and asking me if I am, and I let her know it bothers me. It bothered me so much because maybe I'm feminine, but I grew up in a house full of women, and I don't have a dad. My mother heard me out, and as I expected she would, she comforted my feelings of not having a dad. She also goes, "Son, can I ask you a question though?" In which I respond easy, "Yeah." She goes, "Are you gay?" Suddenly it's fucking deja vu. This internal conflicting narrative has become my reality and follows me to this day. In my 9th grade of high school, I found out I would be transferring schools and attending an art school in LA, Hamilton High School. I was excited for this narrative to change, and it did. Amongst all the LA kids, my differences were now excused by me being a valley boy, and not on the pretenses that I'm simply gay. I had a great time at this school, and while I had a few people call me gay, it truly wasn't enough for me to believe it at the time or care. I was back to being and feeling comfortable in who I am. And that only lasted a year until I moved back to the Valley and had to attend high school at Chatsworth. The nickname for that school was Waxworth, and honestly, the school was whack. At Chatsworth, I didn't deal much with people worrying about my sexuality. If they were, they just weren't bold enough to address me. I would occasionally always find out someone was talking. Talking meant nothing to me. I just made sure I talk back and worse. In the 11th grade, my father called me up on one of his annual every 2-month checkups. We had exchanged a few introductory words and caught up, and before I knew it, my dad was on my phone asking me, "Dion, you got a girlfriend?" I was so flustered, but he didn't know that. I responded, "What do you mean?" "I mean, I have friends that are girls, so yeah." He goes, "Nigga, what do you have a boyfriend?" I said, no. He goes, so what you give me that funny ass response for, talking about, "I have friends that are girls, so yeah. Nigga, you know what I mean." I was like, okay. He goes, "So when I asked you if you had a girlfriend, I was trying to figure out if you like boys." I'm now like, okay, let me educate you, deadbeat. I let him know I was uncomfortable answering that question because if you were in my life to the capacity that a father is, you would maybe know not to ask me that question. But since you're not, here we are. Also, you don't get to just call me up and ask personal questions like that when you are barely in my life. It is weird. He goes, "I see you on that funny shit, but listen here. Bleep, 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 bleep." I hung up the phone so quick. He called back twice, but I'm not about to hold a conversation with this man who's cussing me out when he should be apologizing for his absence and ignorance to my life. I was offended by my dad this day. From him, it hurt the worst to me because this question coming out of his mouth just like a nosy stranger, just wanting to know something, yet nigga, you could know everything. You're my fucking dad once you realize it. Also, I just questioned if I was to say I am gay, would that have been his reason for his lack of presence in my life? My senior year of high school, I got into this cute little relationship with one of the only girls at Chatsworth that I found attractive. To no surprise, others found her attractive as well, but when I was with her, they were really mad. I would constantly hear talk about us dating and people being so shocked and people saying, "I thought he was gay." I found out dudes were also now going out of their way to get my girlfriend at the time's attention, and it did really bother me. While I wanted to be with this one bomb girl in my senior year, I felt like I had to be with everyone else and exist in these blatant rumors. I was over it and my confidence was shot. People close to me understand that there is nothing to be understood. We are all different, and so is sexuality. People distant from me still want to understand, but only a little bit. I stopped dating after high school and made it my goal to be so comfortable with myself that I no longer was looking for people to be comfortable with me. I developed an understanding of perspective in this. While I recognize myself to be who I am, and I know what that means to me, from others' perspective, who I am unfortunately doesn't matter, as they will still perceive me through their own lens. I'm here not to come out, but to say I was never in. I am me. I am Dontaye White.